Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included here in the One Duplicant Challenge. In the previous episode we made some more fixes and I believe we're now ready to take off this planetoid. Hold the phone. Didn't I have a fish? Oh yeah, okay, it actually hatched right there. There is my Pacu fish here. It should be a tame baby, yes, and it is even producing polluted dirt. We did get some seeds. Ooh. Did I just see a seed going into the wrong storage? Yeah, of course. I basically have all the seeds selected here, except for the bomb lily seeds. Okay, I need to keep this in mind. But for now, let's just get rid of these water bottles and then I think we can move on to the next project. In today's episode, I want to dedicate a little bit of time in order to prepare liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. So without any further ado, let's make our way back here to the main planetoid to begin that launch sequence and I'm gonna catch you in a bit. Goodbye, good luck! Now, as we fly back, there's one thing I noticed on Obsidibo. We managed to overheat the large power transformer. Now, this happened because the supercoolant isn't flowing anymore, and this happened because this pipe here actually got destroyed. So at some point, the bottle emptier managed to create a full tile of niobium here, and then it just kept piling up until nothing worked anymore. Now, this is really curious to me, because we had it running for, I don't know, let me actually see. When did we put in this bottle emptier, for instance? This bottle emptier is here for over 500 cycles. So nearly 500 cycles, this contraption worked perfectly. And then for some reason it stopped working. And I really suspect it is something similar as we experienced here with our hydrogen generator. Basically, at some point, maybe during the loading process of the game, the liquids managed to get confused for a little bit and that just broke everything. And I suspect it could be something similar because it doesn't make sense that it would work for 500 cycles and then suddenly it stopped working. Either way, my next step is going to be to come back to the main planetoid and then I would like to set up a hydrogen setup. Now, where are we gonna do this? It would be very nice to do this here at the bottom. On the other side, it would be really convenient to not have to do this within the polluted oxygen, so we could just, you know, build it in space. Yeah, I think considering these solar panels don't do what they are supposed to do if you overlap them like so that is not a viable option anymore. But I think what we can do is move the solar panels over a little bit, and this is gonna give us the space to set something up here at the very top. Wonderful, we're back on the main planetoid. I think I'm gonna spend the night first. Holy cow, I'm so quick. But I'm suspecting we're not even gonna have enough time to resupply the... Yeah, look at that. We just left some berry sludge on the floor. Either way, in the next cycle, we can finally tend to this project. And I wanna kind of plan this out accordingly. In order to get liquid hydrogen and oxygen, of course, we are first going to need an electrolyzer setup. And for this contraption, I'm probably just going to go with the standard Rodriguez design. So nothing too fancy or creative. It's even going to be quite convenient because we can just get the water from here. Of course, like always in the beginning of coming back to the planetoid, I will first have to spend some time maintaining what we have neglected the past few cycles. Okay, nice. Looks like we finally started with the build. Take these solar panels apart right away. And then as of this point right here, we're gonna start the Rodriguez design. Now, maybe I'm actually gonna leave a little bit of space so I can move up. Like, let me quickly check the radiation. Here it is barely... What's happening? The research reactor stopped working. Let me see. It's because of the interval here. Yeah, I think we have to leave this at 9 seconds. And so it's going to be active for 9 seconds and a little bit more enriched uranium can be processed every day. Oh, look at this. We actually got exactly 10 kilograms in here with the 9 seconds delay here on the timer sensor. The 10 kilograms is perfect because that should be what it consumes within a day. Good. Looks like we got the old stuff out of the way. Now let's set up the Rodriguez design. A Rodriguez design basically consists out of pumps at the bottom and electrolyzers at the top. Let's maybe get started with the pumps. I'm gonna build them with gold amalgam so we have a little bit more leeway when it comes to temperatures. And I think we might be able to make this about 6 wide, this design, and then we need to switch to electrolyzers. The electrolyzers would be sitting on top of here, so let's have 2 on either side. We're gonna divide them with airflow tiles so that we can actually exchange the gases. And then of course everywhere we can, we're gonna set up some dry wall. Because we cannot have every everything venting into space immediately again, right? Then in the very center, let me think. We have to get rid of some of these walls here and then just set up normal walls. Is this right? Hang on. I think we can get rid of this one. I might have to check it on the internet, the design. It's been a while since I actually built one. Either way, right here would be our hydrogen pump, and this is the only hydrogen pump we're gonna need. All the other pumps are gonna be taking care of the oxygen. Good, I think we can already get this built, and then in the meantime, we're also gonna relay the water pipes. So I'm just gonna assume that we can go straight up here and just feed them, though this kind of looks weird. I think I'm gonna do something like that. It's gonna use a little bit more pipes, but for some reason I think it's just gonna look better. Another something we can also already do is set up heavy watt conductive wire. And we're just gonna hook all of these guys up. And I guess we could have the wire lead through a plate here and then through another plate in order to do that. Or we just hook it up here. Actually, this might be more elegant. So say we have a heavy watt joint plate right here, and this is gonna allow us to hook up the rest of them. And yeah, I think in order to get into the contraption, we're gonna do that. That would make a lot of sense, you know. We can just hook it up to the main line there. Okay, that looks about right. Now, I want to make sure that here, the hydrogen only has a one gap tile to actually move through. Ah, I see. Hang on. I will have to move this a little bit further up. Let me quickly rearrange some stuff. I believe I will have to move these guys up one block. And therefore, probably also the gas pump. The gas pump will go here, and then this would go there. Something like that. We can still hook up the heavy watt conductive wire. However, we'll have to snuggle it around here a little bit because we want to close this off for a one wide gap. Like if I do it like so, we only have this one wide gap, and therefore the hydrogen is going to have an easier time not going over there with the oxygen. And then we would be closing this off and this off. Yeah, looks about right. Though before I continue, I will have a quick look at the designs online just to make sure that I didn't mess up. Another something we can already do is set up the sensors. For instance, we're going to need some sensors here in order to determine how much oxygen we have. And then the other sensor needs to be somewhere on the top here. Let me put that over to the left side, so it's already close to where it needs to go, namely right there. And then I guess we can have one sensor for each row here. Like so. Yes, my minion, go for it. This is not looking too shabby. Maybe we can already start hooking up the gas pipes. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I'm only really gonna need one pipe, right? Because we don't get quite as much hydrogen as we get oxygen. Did you just... Oh man, Nathan, I thought we're over this. But yeah, either way, we will be producing way more oxygen that we can use. So that's something we'll have to keep in mind. In this case, I would suggest we bring together these two pipes here, and the oxygen pipe is going to go up. This is going to give us quite a bit of oxygen availability already. And then as for the hydrogen, we just take this pipe here. So now we have hydrogen and oxygen next to each other, ready for the taking for the contraptions upstairs. Where the heck is my dupe? What are you doing? Ah, fixing some stuff. I should probably disable this. Oh, actually, we're done here collecting the materials. Totally forgot about this project. So I guess we can start to take things apart a little bit. But the contraption is being built here in the background, which is very nice. Let's already do... no, we did the water. Sorry, I seem to be confused. Well, I guess we can already move on to the next level. This would be the level where we create the liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen on either side of the Rodriguez contraption. There's no perfect center, so I guess we'll just make a double wall here between the two chambers. This would then probably be the ceiling here of the contraption. Let me see. Is this enough space? We technically only really need a pump and a way for the hydrogen to cool down. Yeah, honestly, these tiles right here with the hydrogen and the oxygen, we might want to insulate a little bit better instead of just using igneous rock, but I'm just going to do the prototype for now. And then certain tiles will exchange with ceramic and other tiles will have to exchange with insulation. The insulation I can craft right here, and we're just going to do this on a loop. Now let me see. Oh no, my thimble reeds are still not producing because of body temperature. Yeah, sooner or later I will have to fix this problem. The oil is also slightly too hot. How hot can they go, actually? 37 degrees. Yeah, that's not good. So instead of this pipe here going over and doing unnecessary cooling that it is not even capable of, I rather reconnect these pipes and then get rid of the bridges. There, we're finally taking apart the pipes, and that means I can now, for instance, relay the water that we have here at 24 degrees and just run it through here. That is going to be much more practical. So this is one of our output pipes right here, and all we have to do, theoretically, let me get insulated pipes for this. We go through here, then this is running down, so we would hijack that oil pipe for ourselves. I'm then gonna run this pipe through here in order to cool down the thimble reed. We can even install a additional one right here, and then at the very end we make our way back with the heated water and bring it back into the water line right there. Just some pipes in order to fix that, and we should be golden. You know what just occurred to me? I can relay it into this pipe. This is even better. I don't even need to go up high or anything. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, we don't need all of that. This is way more convenient. Now it goes a little bit slower, but we can clearly see that the water here is heating up, and whenever we have a break in this stream right here, it's gonna continue cooling down the plants. So right now we're already at 90 degrees, and whoops, I totally forgot. I probably should have let them through here. No, actually we need those. So it could be an overall problem because we are feeding the polluted water that is too hot. But let's see. No, actually we're getting there. Okay, it does help, and the plants start to grow again, and therefore we'll have enough thimble reed to create the insulation material. Okay, back to the project here on the top. I obviously don't want that to run just yet. We just hooked up the power. So this is now all being evaporated into space. But I do not worry too much because, well, we do not lack power and we definitely don't lack the water. Either way, the two pairs of pump on either side, I'm probably just gonna bring up sneakily, and then we'll see what we do with that. But we're most likely just gonna end up venting that into space or using it for another project. So maybe I don't even wanna bring it all the way up, but instead we're gonna bring it down. Yeah, I think that might actually be the better plan. Bring them down, and then either we vent it into space or we use it for something else. I managed to mess this up again. I placed an atmo sensor instead of a temperature sensor. No, wait, we have a thermo sensor. I'm just messing up with the settings here. Yeah, below 20,000 we want to send a green signal. I had it the other way. Yeah, this doesn't even make sense. We want the steam engines to be activated all the time, but depending on the amount of pressure we have or the temperature, we want to open the vent. Say, if we are above 200 degrees, then we want to send a green signal. This is going to shut it down and cool down the room. And then the steam turbines, they should only be activated as long as we are, say, above 2 kilograms. Or let's maybe do 5. Okay, now that makes much more sense. If there is almost no steam in there, the turbines aren't gonna suck it out. And then depending on the temperature, the water is coming back into the room. Yeah, we might have to add a secondary vent. Let's keep going with our little project here. What will we have on the top? This is probably then gonna be a steam room. I wonder if I could connect it to this room right away. This might actually be very convenient. Yeah, look at that. We actually managed to bring the heat down a little bit. I would suggest that we have another vent right here, but then we don't even need steam turbines for this guy. Like, we can take advantage of the fact that we have a little too many turbines. So what if I just made this an additional steam room, and then we can slap 2 aqua tuners inside of it? Say we have one aqua tuner right here and then one mirrored on the other side, both responsible to cool down the 2 liquids to their various temperatures. And then all we have to do is set up some drywall. Let's do this one with mafic rock. And on the top here, I'm going to be using obsidian again, because we already have that here for the nuclear reactor. Yep, I can kind of see this working. We'll still have the possibility to set up more steam turbines if we really wanted to. But for now, the important part is going to be to relay half of the steam engines to another vent. So we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 at least. And then we could set up a 5th one if we wanted to. But they would then be relayed into these 2 rooms. Let's kind of make it symmetrical. Get some vents in here. And that should be taking care of that issue. Then other things we can already place are the thermosensor for the pipes. One goes here, another there. We'll have some automation wire for those guys as well. And then I guess another thing we can already do is the bypass for both of these. So we go in here, then over, and I could do that and go down with a bridge. Because all we need to cool down is whatever we have downstairs. So let's do something similar here. We would be going down there and use a bridge like so. Yeah, good thing. Let's maybe get this built first and then we'll see about the rest. In the meantime, I kind of want to shut down the reactor. And that is another mistake I made. I only shut down the reactor, but not the mechanics to add more enriched uranium. So this would just pile up then. No, that's a lie. I have the weight plate. Yeah, I can literally just shut down the reactor or the auto sweeper. Like either connection would be fine because this connection also disables fuel delivery. So that's another wire that really needs to go to only one input. And then I'm kind of thinking at some point I should be able to open up this wall and then maybe make my way inside, fix these guys. Looking good. Okay, so far so good. The reactor has shut down and we also built everything that we planned out so far. Now, considering the temperature distribution is going to be really important in this one, I think every drywall that doesn't touch a wall, I'm going to exchange with a temp shift plate. And then, of course, we're going to exchange some of these tiles with insulation. Now, I did not actually mean for any water to land right here already, but I guess that doesn't really matter in the end. For now, we just exchange these temp shift plates and then we'll make our way into the nuclear reactor room. So temp shift plates for you, that should be fine. And then also open up this bit. It should be fairly safe as of this point, and then I'm just going to exchange these two guys here with the thermal version. There we go. The breach has been done. Let's make sure to also do these as quickly as possible. If the steam disappears, it doesn't really matter because we're going to be creating new steam easily. And I guess I also want to continue the cabling in order to feed the two aqua tuners. Now for the hydrogen room, I want to go with insulation material, and then for the oxygen room, I'm going to go with ceramic. Insulation is going to be important, especially between the steam room and the hydrogen room. So I'm going to be exchanging all of these tiles, and that actually already narrowed us down to 400 kilograms. But yeah, eventually we also want to exchange these 4 tiles and then possibly even these. Yeah, sure, why not? We are now producing more iso resin at this point, so it should be incoming at a faster rate. So we'll not be able to completely finish this, but I don't want to make the mistake of, cheaping out on materials. This room here needs to be completely insulated with insulation. And then the other side right here is going to be totally enough if we do this with ceramic material. And there is my insulation, nice and pink. Love it. And we're basically just waiting for Uzista to produce more iso resin, and it's not a coincidence that we see the tree feeding. It is now happening more and more frequently, and we even get lots of eggs here as well. Right now, the one bottleneck I can still see is the rat bolt production. Actually, we're lacking behind about 3 tons of material, and that is a slight problem. We only can ship like 200 kilograms at a time, of course, and then if the tungsten volcano is activated, it will not be shipping as quickly to the main planetoid. But we can complete the rest of the build, and then this part we're just going to do slowly. I'm going to make a little addition here with a conveyor loader for this kiln in order to feed it with clay and coal that is going to produce a little bit of ceramic for us. Now, inside of the chambers, we're of course going to have our liquid pumps that we can set up like so. And then I'm also going to need a hydro sensor. Going to place that here. We only want to pump out the hydrogen and oxygen once we actually got a decent amount of it. I think we could make the rooms a little bit smaller here. Yeah, let me actually get rid of that and that. This way I can make the room smaller and I can have this middle part in order to relay the power. We can take it from the top or the bottom. Actually, the top might be easier. So we get this right into here, and then we would be having 2 more of these. Oh no, this actually doesn't work. But instead we can just have a power transformer right here, which might be much easier. And then we can easily take the conductive wire and just bring it to both of the pumps. I just see I should have put the hydrogen on the right side. That just makes so much more sense. Let me switch this up. This is actually really important. The insulation needs to go on this side right there. Yeah. This way, we might actually get away with leaving this open for now, because it is just exposed to space and there's not going to be heat exchange going on between like a steam room and the liquid hydrogen or oxygen room. Liquid oxygen has a much higher tolerance, so we can easily keep that here without risking too much, but then the insulation here is going to be important. Okay, very nice. This is now looking really good. I'm just waiting for some insulation material, and then of course also the ceramic. The ceramic is going to be much easier. I actually totally messed this up by placing a conveyor loader. What we wanted, of course, was a storage bin. That makes much more sense, but we're now constantly producing the ceramic, so that isn't an issue. And then once we get some more items shipped from Osista, we'll see some progress there as well. But the build is initiated. Once I got enough materials, we can wrap this up, and hopefully already in the next episode we should be able to get our first liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen in the joint. And then as of this point, it will be all about actually creating a rocket program using the hydrogen. So it's probably not going to be over here, but rather close to the contraption. And we can just combine these two rooms. Let's just keep them together, and they're going to be forming one ginormous steam room. But yeah, I would say with that out of the way, give me some time in between the episodes to make progress on this part, and then in the next one we can hopefully test it out. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Have a great time and see you in the next one. Bye bye.